Hi, everyone. Today, we're just going to be talking about our reaction to certain parts of the Superman movie, Red Sun from 2020. So, we are not going to be showing the whole film, definitely not, just very small clips. And basically, there is a UFO covering this. So, do not watch our reaction video to watch the movie because
Do
that's
not.
what you're going to get. You're just going to get our raw, unfiltered reaction to the movie, especially, picking cranberries, which is, a way of saying, spotting the inaccurate portrayals of Russian culture in this movie.
Exactly. Exactly. And that comes from a saying where in the Three Musketeers, somebody said, I slept under a cranberry tree in Russia. And everybody knows that cranberries do not grow on trees. And it's just a way to say inaccuracies of Russian culture or, anything of the different USSR states, Cold War stereotypes, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Your end.
So we're just going to show the very beginning, like
Oh,
around 1 minute or so.
Rodzenia, the land, the old fields of wheat.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead,
Wish
run!
didn't look that
But when
nice
we catch you,
in
we're going to
reality.
break those skinny legs of yours!
And stomp on your ugly face!
Jackass
Leave him
dude.
alone! He didn't do anything to you!
We still don't really understand why he got bullied. I mean, isn't he someone who is pretty good at socializing?
Yeah, I think this is just a plot device, to be honest.
Yeah, he doesn't feel like the type who would be bullied. Like he's not
Oh, he's a pretty
some kind of
sociable
edge lord.
kid. I mean, so I would say
I
Golden
said-
Age canon is very sociable. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's just a smooth social guy. Like, um, actually, pretty charming. I mean, a little bit stiff about being proper about some things, but otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
but you admire that. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I vibe with that guy, but I don't understand. I think this is just a plot device for
I
this
think it
anyway.
is.
It's a
Yeah,
plot
definitely.
device.
I
Yeah.
noticed a lot of American movies love having the plot device of the main character being bullied, but there's no explanation
Basis.
for it.
Like, why are you bullied? Like, just this random kid. Like, he didn't do anything. Like, even she said that. Why the heck you picking on him? You know?
Right. And they don't even know about his powers.
No, they don't. I guess if they did, they
Leave
wouldn't
him
bully him.
alone!
Bitch!
You call her. She just knocked him down. Talk shit, get hit.
Yeah. It doesn't really make sense for Superman to have no friends. Like I said, it just feels like, the typical American thing to make the main character not have any friends just for the
Just
sake of
one
it.
friend.
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
Yeah, because in Silver Age canon, he had a lot of friends back home in Kansas. I mean, that's why it was a little hard for him to leave and go to the city. But you know, uh, but then he starts making friends in the city, so he's actually a very sociable dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'll hit you again, Dmitry Romanovich.
Romanovich, but it sounds like Domanovich.
Romanovich. Who has that name?
If you
Like,
were
this
the
sounds like
girl,
something Sholokov would have. I mean, I guess it makes sense. They're in Ukraine, but how many people have that name Roman in Ukraine? Like,
They
what? 4
do.
or
I
5
think it's
random
not that
people?
uncommon. Roman Abramovich, for example, that millionaire.
That's true. But I mean, but would random Ukrainian peasants have that name? That sounds something more like
I
Cossacks
think
would get.
so. I think they would. I mean, it's not too out there, like Christonia from
Estonia, Quiet Close to
Quiet Close to
Dawn.
Dawn. Yeah.
There's all sorts of crazy names. Cossacks have like Pantaleon.
Pentaliman. I've seen that before in the 16th or 17th century. It just feels very old fashioned.
Oh,
It's a Greek name.
There's a boxer from Siberia with that name.
Oh, I see. And like I said, Svetlana really looks like a mix of my characters Katya and Malka. Malka's hair color
Oh,
with Katya's eyebrows, her green eyes, and the freckles.
exactly. Andre's still thinking about Katyushinka. She's got a personality too, like it. Like if you mix Malka and Katya together.
I can't
True.
keep saving you like this, Sonishka. You have to
So
stop.
I'd like to
Mishka,
see
that was
Malka.
definitely one of the
Yeah,
faux pas here. Like that is not a name. Like when you
that's
look
not a
up
name.
on Google, so Mishka, it just goes back to this movie. So I think they made it up for this movie.
They made it up because that is not that is not a diminutive.
Of
Okay, if you say
anything.
Mishka, it's either going to be Mishka, Mishkashenka, Mishatka, uh,
Mishatka is your character Andre's son.
Andre's little boy, Andre's favorite little boy.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And he, like I said, young. So Mishka looks like
There's to
Joel, my
fix them.
character from
he
the book of
does. He's
Joel.
kind of suffering like Joel too.
But he doesn't
Joel needs to
have
reflect.
and he doesn't have a reason to be bullied. I mean, for Joel, it was because of his speech impediments and
Yeah, that's
also the
legit.
fact he's very, very shy, and then people just think he's lame.
And he's a little prickly too. Like
Exactly, and
like
he's
whenever anybody tries to
defensive.
help him, he gets like a hedgehog. Even with Sam, like Sam's like, "Hey, buddy," and Joel's like, "Hey," you know.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's different from so Mishka here, who doesn't really mind, Svetlana helping him. He doesn't get angry or defensive.
No, he doesn't. I guess he's very secure in his masculinity.
Yeah.
Like that, Svetlana. I didn't run because I was afraid
I
of
just think it's hilarious how he has a cleft chin as a kid.
Why does he? Okay,
I
you know
ran because
what?
I
I
was
want to
afraid
say
to
that
hurt
I
them.
love a lot of DC animated styles, but when they draw kids, it's weird. Like they're good at adults, but when they draw kids, it looks weird. Like why would you have a? But wait a minute, there are some kids who do have cleft chins. It is weird.
Have
Some
I
of
ever
them do.
Wow,
hurt you,
I've never seen
Svetlana?
it, but I
Not
guess.
cleft, but dimples.
That's true.
Maybe this is a factor. I think it's nothing. Nice accuracy on the tractor, though. That does look like
Yeah.
a tractor from late 1940s USSR.
I
You
don't
said about the
know.
engines, right?
Something has been happening
I
inside
wish
me.
his physique would stay more realistic when he grows up like this, instead of just becoming this roided up, kind of looking like The Rock.
Well, you know what? You know what? I mean, I'm all right with a bit of beef, but I mean, so I did show you Golden Age ratio, and you thought his body looked a lot better in Golden Age.
It does, yeah, and he had a bit of a stomach too, which is better because, like, he's wearing spandex, so, I mean, how is it possible to look so perfect all the time? Like, after you drink water, it's gonna stick out more.
It is. I love Golden Age because he has a waist. He's got a nice, healthy waist, and he drinks plenty of water. But then you get into Silver Age and Modern Age where the body just gets so weirded out, and I hate the way it gets so beefed up. I mean, I even have this problem a little bit with cinematic because um, I was fine with Cavell's physique in the beginning, but I guess they just kept telling him, "Hey, Henry, add more muscle," and he just kept adding more muscle. I'm like, stop it,
Yeah, too much.
too
Oh,
much.
should we skip to another scene now?
Um, I guess we could play maybe a couple more minutes because I don't know what the transition is to this. I don't know if he's going around saving people or
For
what.
weeks now.
Right, let's see what the transition is.
Yeah, I think he kisses her.
Something incredible.
What the heck?
Andre's happy.
Oh, now he can fly it too.
Woo! I can fly. Kind of funny video. I love the idea of flying. I love the music.
That's true, and the backgrounds are really nice.
They are.
Such incredible power, Sonishka. You have to give them to the state.
State.
The people
that's my
need
red.
you.
Right, and now that's gonna stay with him for a long time.
No, you shouldn't have said that, Lana. Not because you started something terrible here.
Oh, so that's the beginning.
I guess we watched the credits. I don't know.
Let's just skip it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it's more animation of
More
the,
animation.
and this looks so stereotypical, doesn't
It
it?
does. Like, okay, I am a fan. You know that. I shouldn't say a fan. That sounds wrong. I can appreciate the bold statements of propaganda art, not the intent, but the geometrics that go into it. And I do collect quite a bit of Soviet propaganda art for the purpose of realizing how destructive propaganda can be unto a culture and people, which is something I show with Andre's life experience. But a lot of people, when they try to draw it or create it, they get it wrong because they're missing the whole point of the colors and the color communication of that culture of which these are going in. So you cannot think like an American when you're thinking about this.
Right, and I think this movie, just like a lot of other American products, basically just kind of show everything from an Americanized perspective.
Exactly. It kind of reminds me of that one quote, which ironically is another sort of American British thing that also is trying to do Cold War stereotypes. But I like this one saying from the Man from Uncle film, where it says, "You're just thinking how someone from your country would think someone from my country would look like."
Exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
this is him grown up, so we'll show a little bit of this.
Okay. So here's some.
Strongest men work ceaselessly to construct it. But even with their sweat and
So
toil,
here's this
this
jackass.
dam would
See
never
that
Right,
guy?
and he adopts Sumishka.
Yeah, he does when he's
have
12.
been completed
Weird.
in so short a time, if not for the efforts of a truly
Basically, after Svetlana tells him that he has to serve the state.
I guess, I don't know, I guess maybe he reported to his commissar and said, "Hey, commissar, look what I can do." And I don't know, he lifted up his
Right.
desk.
And here he
Lifted up the
is.
You are a
commissar.
symbol for all we aspire to be. The people need to hear your voice.
You need to look at your good looks, too.
Your words
That's good
are
propaganda when
extremely
you have
kind,
handsome men.
Stalin.
By the way, his voice actor is Jason Isaacs from Harry Potter,
Yes!
who is, the guy who plays Malfoy's dad.
I don't know if that is brilliant, ironic, or what. But yes, you have a British
Perhaps
actor
too
doing
kind.
a Russian accent. That is surreal.
I am no hero. I am merely a servant of the state who
Oh,
seeks,
shit.
as you do.
Yeah, he's very
like
deep
something
into the
Dirk would say.
ideology. Yeah, we'll show a little bit here too.
There's this stuff going on.
Colonel Mesov, what is it? The Zenit satellite, sir. It's fallen out of orbit.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys aren't really great at satellites.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind that you had trouble sending a dog up there. I don't even know where we are here.
And he's watching them.
Is this where he discovers the truth about the gulags or something?
Maybe.
How far are we in the movie?
15 minutes out of 1 hour 25.
Oh. So I don't know. I don't even know where we're going with this.
I don't know either. But we can't show a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
afraid of
because
getting
it's on
lost.
YouTube. Oh, is this where he?
So,
Is this
yeah.
where he discusses Svetlana? I'm gonna cry.
Oh yeah, and people getting basically tortured and stuff.
Okay, that was weird. Okay,
Some people on DeviantArt would find that hot.
no, this is horrible. No, I
Oh, there she is. So yeah,
Okay,
she
there we
dies.
go. Oh hell no! Oh hell no!
The UFO's blocking his face. So hey, no copyright infringement.
I know. I just wanna see a sad face. Yeah, man, this is sad.
Yeah, and then she dies.
And she dies. His only
And then
childhood friend.
and then basically he doesn't have any friends from then on.
Yeah, I know. Like that's tragic. I mean, until
Well,
he
we
gets
saw this
died.
scene, remember?
Yeah, we did. We reacted to this because then he blasted Stalin.
Yeah.
I could have died. Should have died long.
Don't forget that in the other canons, he has a love interest called Lana. So she's like basically a AU version of her.
Yeah. There's in silver canon there is Lana, and she's like a hometown friend. But then they kind
I
of
held on.
drift away when he moves to the city.
I never
Right.
stopped
And then
believing that you
there's no AU version of Lois here though, right? I think.
There is Lois in this movie, but she's married to Lex
one
Luthor.
last time.
Oh
Yeah.
right, that's what Riza said.
She gave him-
Yes.
did you see that scene where she gave him the files on the
Okay,
gulags?
let's see. Yeah,
That's
let
further
me see.
back before all this.
Oh, okay.
Millions of people dead.
Wait, we did see this. This is where he zaps
Yeah, we
Stalin.
saw this already. So we'll
Wait, I
skip
think you
that.
have to go back because this was before the Gulag.
This one. This
That
is
one,
Lois,
yeah,
right?
there's Lois. Yeah, there's Lois. She's sassy in this one.
This is the same brand my doctor
She
smokes.
kind of gives me Tatuzia vibes
So
sometimes.
you're not afraid of the American press.
She's American though.
I'm not
That's
afraid
true,
of
the
anything.
dark-haired sassy
But
woman.
he's
taking
not.
over.
Yeah, so basically they're from different nations this time.
Yeah, different ethnicities and nations. But I
Have you
am
ever
loving
considered
Golden
that
Age
the lack of
design
fear
here.
can lead to arrogance,
Mhm.
recklessness? Eisenhower saying your people sabotaged their own satellite
We did no such thing.
so that you could come flying in to save the day. You have to admit, it is the perfect propaganda opportunity.
Exactly.
Everything's a propaganda tool.
Oh, this is where he burns Stalin to death. Exactly.
No, it should be that way because he deserves that. That's better than that's.
Oh yeah, this is Superior Man, by the way. This is America's solution to
They
Superman.
they just made a human clone. Like I don't even know how they got Soviet Superman's DNA, but somehow they did, and they're figuring, let's make a copy, which tells you a lot about
Yeah, so they're testing him out, and he has nothing.
America first!
And he's uglier as hell too.
He is. I think that's a reflection of. Should I say it?
Why isn't he 600 pounds?
I don't know.
His superpower should be being able to fly while being morbidly obese and holding like Coca-Cola or something in one hand. Because you have to have that American capitalism, like always selling big name, like junk foods.
But I feel like, pardon me, I may be struck with COVID, people.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. What I'm saying is, if I was gonna be mean and say I think it's a reflection that a lot of American men do not take care of themselves, therefore they are not attractive.
Questions?
I'm so proud of myself.
So this is Lex Luthor? Because
Yeah, he has
the guy
hair
said
in this
Mr. Luthor, yeah.
Mr. Luthor.
And he's old. He's not like this young kid like from Snyderverse.
No. Snyderverse was kind of cool because he was like this crazy young kid that was basically like if Elon Musk was revealed his true colors because I think Elon Musk is evil. So
Elon Musk mixed with Mark Zuckerberg, like
Oh
this
my
kind of
gosh,
young
right.
genius kid who's a techie, and then he gets rich.
yes, oh my gosh, I will never buy a Tesla car. They explode. The windows are not shatterproof.
Mr. Truth.
I'm confused, Mr. Luthor. A project like this, wouldn't it be better to keep it secret from the Russians? Why reveal this new weapon to the world in such a public way?
Because
For
we
one
love to
very
have
good reason. I want our
a
friend in
measuring
Moscow
contest.
to know what's coming. I want him to be afraid.
Yeah, you're doing a great job doing that.
Is that Lois?
I
Oh
don't know.
no, this is the
This is
Superman.
Diana.
Yeah,
This is
Diana.
Wonder
How did he
Woman.
meet her?
I guess her mom wanted to open up an embassy in Soviet Union. Because basically, okay, I guess just to throw canon out there for people who may not know Wonder Woman, quick crash course. Diana is kind of like a Greek demigoddess sort of thing, and she lives on an island called Theramasika, and it's kind of like ancient Greece, but with like really weird tech powers. So it's basically like imagine if you had ancient Greece, but with like futuristic metropolis technology. And she has powers like a demigoddess, and her mom's the queen of this island. And there's no men allowed on the island, just women. How they procreate, I'm not sure. I guess they like mate with warriors or something once in a while and have kids. Although Diana herself was molded from the clay of the earth, and the gods breathe life into her, which is why she's really powerful. So she's kind of a demigod.
Right.
She's still resistant.
Good looking.
But yes, here basically what happens is that she asks him, like she says she's a lesbian, and then she says that she's open to experimenting with him, but he turns her down.
Which is dumb because Andre's like Andre needs to react to this. He's saying this is very stupid. If a woman is willing to do that, take that chance. Also, Andre would like to say to Mishka that he thinks that Diana's fantastic and that beautiful dark-haired women do it better.
When Metropolis was threatened,
Oh, here's
I put
his
aside
copy.
our country's
His
differences
copy.
and protected the
So, I mean,
lives of
Other
hot
innocent.
guy
argument.
versus ugly
Yet
guy.
you dare to come
You
here
versus
I
the guy
know.
who
as
said
if
he's
Even
not
though he's
worried about
supposedly a
Not an invader,
clone.
a liberator.
it.
I am truth.
You know
I
what?
am
I'm laughing.
justice.
So the voice
I
of
am the
Superior Man is
American
Thomas
way.
Gilliam, who actually voiced Roy Mustang in Fullmetal Alchemist.
Yeah.
That's his scene.
Oh, they're gonna end up destroying the city.
Surrender to a commie dictator.
Very well. You had your chance.
Does he melt him?
I know that the guys in a pretty good way because I think the clone juice cells thingies whatever just don't work, and then he
I
just
see.
falls apart.
And that's Lois. She's watching.
Yeah, she's watching.
So wait, does that make Lois a bad guy?
This well, I guess sort of a capitalist corporate
Give him more juice.
lackey, kind of.
What
I guess there are
happens?
no good guys or bad guys in this. This is so gray, you know.
That's true. Oh, now they're giving him more power.
Yeah, and yeah, he's gonna die in a terrible way. So
Right, and that will be a spoiler for people to actually watch the movie.
exactly, you can watch the movie that way. I guess I don't know what's happening. I guess now they're lobotomizing people or something in the Soviet Union. Sounds about right. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't do that more widespread. I don't know what's going on here.
Batman.
Batman. Yeah.
And he's a Soviet citizen too, right?
Yeah, he's a Soviet citizen too, but now he wants to be a domestic terrorist and take down the Soviet Union. Which, you know what? This is one Batman I can support.
He's an anarchist, right?
Anarchist, yeah. Anarchy reigns, especially with this crap.
What the heck?
He put a dummy. I think it's an
Yeah.
explosive.
I
know,
like
I
his
know-
outfit.
I
I think
like
this is
the
better
out-
than the canon one. Has better
It's better.
colors.
I like it. You know what? It looks more like a an army uniform. I like that.
Is that? Oh no, I thought that was Lois for some reason.
No, it's Diana.
Her hair looks the same from the back.
It does. It does. Well, her hair's a bit longer, I think.
Respect for human life.
Men.
Men,
Not all men.
not all men.
Not all men. Oh my gosh! Hashtag not all men.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading some stuff about Diana, and people didn't like her in this movie because a lot of the time she blames a lot of things on men.
Yeah, this unfortunately in this film adaptation, the comic was a little bit more nuanced. She's blaming it on humans because I guess she's been a little bit, I don't want to say spoiled, but I mean she is living with demigods and goddesses, so you know, you really can't hold humans up to the same standard, Diana. And but this one is she's always blaming it on men, you know, the world of men, because I trusted a man, because of men. But then again, I mean, the Amazons haven't exactly been saintly either. So why call the kettle black when you're, you know, why is the pot calling the kettle black?
Because I think she has a blind spot.
She has a blind spot, and yeah, and also it's funny, like in the comic, she's actually more in love with him.
That's true. I think here she's kind of just maybe just sees him as, you know, someone who's
friend.
also fighting
Like
a
fighting either
similar
the cause of
enemy.
humanity.
Yeah.
And I guess he liked his ideals in the beginning, but slowly he's just becoming into this, you know, terrifying dictator.
That's true. So he's becoming just like Stalin.
Probably like soft
No
core
powers to
style,
speak
like he's
of,
not
yet this
killing
Batman
people,
owns
but
the police.
like, you know, like
The
that,
military.
but a
Mhm.
lot of
Swear to
violence
you,
going
Diana,
on.
His day will come.
I don't know,
It'll be
more military.
fascinating.
More of Lex
haven't
is
been
getting
able-
bald, isn't he?
I guess all that stress.
Or maybe it's been years
Identified
already.
it yet.
Yeah, maybe it has
Although we
been.
have been able to determine the age and probable use of the
I wonder
vehicle.
what this is.
But this,
It's like a
however
spaceship
spectacular,
thing.
pales beside what was found within the craft.
Is that Kennedy in the background?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe because it's the
That was
60s.
JFK. We went through Eisenhower.
Yeah, I think it is him. Oh, they found an alien?
Is this Roswell stuff? Well, it figures.
So tense around me.
What? Is that Kim Jong-un?
I don't know. What was he alive back then?
Yeah. The grandpa, I think. They all look kind of similar.
Yeah, they all look. They're all.
Not even you have the power to...
Shut up.
Kim Il-jung. Yeah, Kim
Yeah,
Il-jung.
that's the fat guy's dad, right? Or his
Yes,
dad.
exactly. He had white hair, but now of course he was younger back then, so.
Yeah.
Now she's as obedient to me as those poor
Ugh.
mind
Anyway, every time I
dissidents
think
are
about
to
that
you.
family, I feel nauseated.
She's under orders to kill herself if
So
you
this is
harm
Batman, and his chin looks very scary. I just
It
realized.
does. I don't like the
Why
design.
does it look like that? I don't think
Why-
I've
why
seen
is it
any
designed like that?
illustration of it. It honestly looks like a ball sack.
Oh my
Doesn't
God.
it?
It's
It looks
raw
like,
filtered reaction.
yeah, I don't understand. Like, why does he look? It looks deformed. But I guess it makes sense because
This
he's
is why I
he's
don't
not
like Batman at
that
all.
heroic here, so he looks worse.
Batman never looked good in my eyes.
what I've wanted since I was a child. To destroy you. To break and utterly humiliate the great Superman. For all your powers, you've always underestimated the
Well, I think it's
greatest
crazy
weapon
that
of
someone
all.
used Diana's lasso against her. I don't even know if canonically that's possible. I guess maybe they decided to twist canon and say, sure, why not?
True.
Now they're
Or
beating the
Batman.
crap out of
Keep
each other.
beating the crap out of him.
So he's using these red lights, I think, to kind of mimic the red, the sunlight from the planet Krypton. Which we should know that if Superman ever does, if say Krypton didn't get destroyed and he went back to Krypton, he'd be very weak. He'd be like any other human being. So he's only strong here on Earth and a few other planets.
Is there a reason why? So, like, let's break it down for people who don't know the canon. So, for planet Krypton, when they're on the planet itself, no one is strong. They're just normal.
No one is strong, everyone's normal. In order to actually survive and do normal things, they need special housing, special suits, because number one, the sun radiation on Krypton is very, very low. They barely get any sunlight. Like, it's crazy, man. Number two, the gravity on Krypton, according to statistics in canon, it's like, I think 35,000 times heavier than Earth. So also Kryptonians get a lot of power from the solar radiation. So what with Earth being so close to the sun and the nice sun and everything, they get enhanced abilities of power, strength, things like that. Also, the reason a lot of Kryptonians can fly, say if they are on Earth, which is why Superman can fly very easily, is because of the gravity. It's basically, it actually takes him more effort just to walk on the Earth and be on it than it would be just for him to kind of float and swish about.
I see.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So then all of that changes when he lands on Earth, and that's why he's so super powered. Because he's away from Krypton. And
Yes.
what happens when because the whole planet is gone now, right? So people do still have some access to some of the kryptonite from the planet, and this is how they can use it to make him weaker.
Exactly. And also kryptonite is not so much that it's from Krypton, which is actually a factor, but kryptonite unfortunately is a radioactive element found within the crust of Krypton. And the Kryptonites, the Kryptonians had used it for a lot of their power to power their houses and all their technology, but it comes at a cost because it's very toxic, it's very radioactive, and it's very harmful to anybody of Kryptonian DNA. So exposing anybody who's Kryptonian to kryptonite, you might as well be putting them in a room with what do you call it, like a nuke reactor right in the middle.
I see. And this is why do you think there was kryptonite in this scene? I have not seen it yet.
I don't see any kryptonite. I think Batman is just mimicking the limiting conditions of Krypton, which is why he's able to beat the shit out of Superman.
So it's like psychological manipulation.
A little bit, but there is physical, because without the sun, Superman is not very strong, and if you were to give him like the kind of sun gamma rays that you get from Krypton, you would make him weak. So it's very dangerous to be
Oh.
exposing him that kind of
Get
gamma
used to it.
level
And he's
because
wearing a freaking Ushanka, another
I know
stereotype.
cranberry,
I
another
know. He
cranberry.
looks so cheap, honestly. If he's
It
such a
does. Why is he wearing a
I don't know
tie
if he's a
dye?
millionaire in this AU, but why would someone who is so, well accomplished and everything, why would he
He's
wear
not a
something so.
millionaire. He's actually a poor gulag survivor.
Oh, I see. But still, Ushanka feels so modern and doesn't feel very Russian, actually. I think it's more like a American, what Americans think Russians wear
Where
all the time.
this looks like something crazy Russian dad would wear, and I think crazy Russian dad wears it for comical effect.
Yeah, he's basically portraying, the Russian stereotype from the American point of view.
Exactly. That's why he's drinking tea outside in the snow with no
Exactly.
shirt. I don't know how
Wow, it
crazy
seems like
Russian
he's
dad
really
is.
overpowering both of them.
Yeah, he is. I'm like, oh, poor Mishka.
Feeling. You don't understand.
Do you think they'll defeat him in this movie?
I think he blows himself up. Just
I
spoiler.
see.
This is what all men bring.
What? Is that him? Did
Yeah,
he blow himself up?
that's all that left of him.
And Diana said this is what all men.
No,
She always
no.
comes to that conclusion.
It's like her fallacy. It's what do you call it when you come back to the same fallacy? It's not straw man. What do they call that argument?
I don't know. I forgot.
Roundabout.
Yeah, exactly. It's always the men. Always the
Always
men.
the men. Hashtag all men.
I know exactly. And if Joel was Sumishka, I think he would say, that's a logical fallacy, Diana. I wonder
Now
how
I
she
wanna
would
see
react.
Joel
She's like,
dressed
"Oh,
like
typical of you men to point out a logical a logical fallacy. Mansplaining."
mansplaining. He just mansplained it to her. I'm like,
And this.
Whoa! Why did her hair go white?
I think it's because she had to use all of her powers to break through her lasso, and I guess like it aged her. But now she's gonna get
Oh.
her powers back from like the gods and goddesses of Thermosycha.
So she's gonna go back home, and then they're
Yeah,
gonna
she's gonna be
repower
like,
her.
screw you, Superman.
Is
I thought you were better than that, but it turns out you're nothing more than a rotten
Oh
dictator.
yeah. So she does age when she loses her powers. I see her wrinkles now.
Yeah, she does.
She looks like Kida from Atlantis.
She does. You're right. She does look like Kita from Atlantis.
Is that a robot?
I think it's a robot.
Of course.
Where did they get robots? This is the 60s.
Well, but it's all sci-fi though. I mean, look,
That's
it's the
true. I'm
Superman.
just wondering.
I like the fact that he's wearing boots in this, military boots. I love it. He's got nice calves.
Whoa, what is this?
It's another alien thingy.
Do they have to fight them, or
I think
like
they have to fight them. I didn't read the whole plot.
It's too late.
is that America?
Yeah, it looks like the White House.
So basically, they're waging war against them.
Yeah, my gosh, so much Cold War
It's
nonsense.
never too late.
Is this Lois?
This is Lois. She got old.
Oh,
I
so
think
basically a
one
lot
of
of
the
time
aliens from
passed.
St. Petersburg.
Oh, this is Petersburg?
Yes, an alien shrunk St. Petersburg to that size. So now Superman's going to try to figure out how to get St. Petersburg back to its regular size.
Oh my gosh.
It's surreal. Like this is
So
even
basically,
weirder.
the alien, was that the one that Luther found? And then I guess they made an alliance with it?
I think he did. I think so. I mean, Luther's making all sorts of weird friends. Which is
Right,
weird.
and that's how, they're like, oh, this is how we're going to win the Cold War by shrinking the USSR's capital to this tiny thing.
Exactly.
Right?
That was the capital back then, was St. Petersburg.
Wasn't it Moscow? I forgot.
No, I think it was St. Petersburg.
Oh.
Stalingrad, right?
Oh, right, yes. And St. Petersburg was Petrograd, wasn't it?
No,
Moscow
no.
was...
Wait, Leningrad.
Yeah.
Moscow was Leningrad, because I always remember that old song, Good Evening, Moscow, which is translated, Dobry Noch, Leningrad.
Right. So, is one of his powers not aging? Because why is everyone around him getting old? Like, Lex Luthor's getting bald.
Okay, so the weird thing about Kryptonians is that they age at a very, very slow rate. They do age eventually, and I've seen very beautiful art of Superman aging gracefully. Like one of my favorite ones was done by the beautiful painter Alex Ross, and he had done a beautiful, beautiful series called Kingdom Come.
Mm-hmm.
And he really did a beautiful job of aging Superman. He just aged very gracefully, very nicely done. But a lot of times, like in these animated or, more of the shorter, more action paced comics and stuff, we really don't get to see Superman age, even though there is a considerable time of passage.
That makes
Passage of time.
sense. Right. So we'll
Yeah.
skip. I think we're almost done. Oh, this is Lex, and he's totally bald now.
He's lost it now. In the beginning, he had hair.
I know.
So wait a minute. I think Superman faked his death.
Okay.
I guess.
And then what happens when he fakes his death? Does Lex Luthor make St. Petersburg big again?
I don't remember. Should we rewind it and see what happens, or too much?
We just see.
Okay. I think we're just gonna get
Okay,
credits.
that's
We just
the
saw
end.
credits. Yeah, I guess. I think I am definitely going to be one of these days watching this whole movie so I can appreciate its words.
So he pushes it away.
Yeah. It's his face.
He's saving the world.
Yeah, that's such a stereotypical line.
And then he pushes it somewhere else, I guess.
And then I guess he goes up.
And then he fakes his death. He doesn't come back?
I guess he doesn't. I don't know. Maybe he got tired of being a dictator for the Soviet Union.
Or does he just continue pushing the thing for eternity?
No, this blows up, I think.
Oh.
I guess we hear Svetlana's voice.
Bullies. Now you must save all of us.
So now he thinks it's worth it.
Use your power to...
So how does he fake his death, though? If he,
I guess
it's
it
gonna actually explode.
And, I mean, if you saw that explode and you didn't see him, you'd think, "Oh, he died."
Mm-hmm.
Supernova, Casanova, Supernova. Wow, I forget that song by Oasis.
And then we see him at the end, I guess, right?
Yeah, we see him at the end. He's actually blending in with the crowd as a civilian.
In the USSR?
No, ironically, at a White House inauguration. Lois noticed
see
him
it.
in the crowd.
And is he next to Lois or something?
No. We see him in the crowd, but she's in the crowd.
Oh, she's right.
Time to leave the stage, huh?
Well, time for that stage.
What are you gonna do now?
Oh, I don't know. Write the great American novel, maybe?
The great American novel. He's so inflated ego. Like he just does so many things, right?
He does so many things. Like why can't he ever be useful?
Or maybe I'll just retire to a desert island with the smartest, strongest, lunging, most beautiful woman I've ever known.
I mean, he's talking about her.
Yeah, I mean, at least they have a happy marriage in this adaptation.
He doesn't seem that much of an asshole.
No, he doesn't. He's actually kind of decent in this adaptation.
It's just that he has crazy ideas about. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, there he is. He's gonna look around, and then Lois is noticing him.
And that's the ending.
That's the ending. That's the ending.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think?
Surreal. So many cranberries. There were more cranberries in this than Ocean Spray Natural.
True. I think it is very, very cranberry. I mean, especially, with the outfits, the names especially. And I think just the feel, like the whole focus on the Cold War itself is very cranberry, isn't it?
It is very cranberry. I mean, like I said, I think you have to watch the whole movie to appreciate the character arc. And I do love his design, not going to lie. Like Riza said, I love the fact that a lot of things were taken from Golden Age, which I always felt were more natural and more pleasantly masculine in a very smooth, natural way than other designs. Not to mention probably the most attractive design for him in a lot of animated or, comic designs as it is. And I do like the uniform outfit. It's subdued. It feels very military, military esque, which is kind of refreshing. And it's kind of flattering to not only his seriousness, but the color composition, the subdued tone palette. And I
Mhm.
think it fits his figure a lot better.
That's true, it does, yeah. I hope we don't get deleted. I think not, because 'cause I've noticed that, a lot of the reaction videos, they are mostly around 40 minutes or 45, and we're reaching it very soon, and basically they only show parts of the movie, and some of them actually show the first, like, 15 minutes or so, and they didn't get deleted. Like, I've seen Jaws, Ben-Hur, and, like, Gran Torino on YouTube.
That's pretty impressive, especially if somebody was doing a reaction video on Ben-Hur. That's a big film.
Yeah, I know, but maybe it's because it's old, and actually it doesn't matter. Even if it's old, it's still licensed, so it's still
True.
copyrighted.
True. I don't think we'll get banned. I think we could talk like 5, 10 more minutes because now we're not playing the movie. We're just talking.
Right. Oh, wow. We have 3 likes on YouTube already. Thank you for joining, guys.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for watching this.
No.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, sorry I can't show more of the scenes, but, like, I was afraid of getting deleted or something. So, most of the scenes I showed were below 3 minutes.
yeah, exactly. So I don't think we'll get into any trouble. And we didn't even hear the audio that well. Like
Yeah, I actually, toned it down in a lot of scenes so you can't hear anything.
exactly. So yeah, Warner Brothers and DC, don't get on our case.
I don't think so. I think they actually consider these kind of films to be well, not films, sorry, these kind of movies, reaction videos, to be a kind of, helping them sell their stuff.
I think it is. We're helping sell your stuff. And, if anything, listen from our critiques and try to make more accurate stuff in the future.
Mhm, definitely. I think a lot of American creators in general, when they write about a culture that's not their own, it always veers off into stereotype, territory, and they say, "Oh, we're gonna do, like, research and go to the tree and stuff," but they always just see it from a tourist perspective.
That's the sad thing of it. Like, okay, so for example, there were some key points. I'm just going to shift myself in my seat because of my back. Um, so there were some instances where I really appreciated what was done. Like for example, we all know what a uniform junkie I am. I was really impressed with some of the details on the uniforms, not so much with the rest of the military, but with Superman's military uniform, which we kind of saw where he was dancing with Diana. I noticed that it was black. At first, when I saw the color, at first I thought it was Air Force color because I thought it was Navy, but I realized it's black. So it's actually an engineer's uniform.
That's actually a really interesting detail.
Yeah, so I wonder if that detail is like, was he like an engineer in the military, or is it symbolizing that he's trying to engineer the country?
I think probably the second one.
That's what I was thinking. But
Mhm.
I thought that was interesting because my uniform knowledge kicked in. I was like, oh, that's an engineer's uniform.
Mhm, absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say just a quick thing to throw out there. I think originally, like, so the comic is actually kind of more convoluted and actually kind of interesting too, like Riza said. But I will say, anybody running with this concept, I feel like a lot of things were missed. I feel like they could have done more research. I feel like they really could have immersed themselves in Russian/Soviet culture more and do it more accurately to how a person would have been living like that or doing things like that. Number two, they could have been drawing influences from Soviet sci-fi. And try
Mhm.
to, and also the big thing I would have gone with, which I would have loved to have seen explored while trying to like get canon and stuff, is Russian transhumanism or Russian cosmism. I would have loved to have seen
Oh, yes, absolutely. Cosmism would be awesome, especially, we talked about this a few years ago when I was doing that series about actually a similar time frame in the USSR in the 30s, with Kuzma and
Kuzma.
Katya. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Kuzma was really into this. Like he was into this cosmism which is actually this kind of idea of it's actually connected to orthodoxy, but then later became atheistic.
Yes, it's such a fascinating concept. So cosmism it's all about transhumanism, transforming humans into something greater. It also deals with things like resurrection, revamping the body and reinventing the body, even like future studies of blood transfusions and things like that.
Mhm.
Molecular cell development, trying to make people live eternally or at least a very long time. And you know what? You could take that concept and transform it into maybe somebody trying to make like a superhero or something. Like
Mhm.
you could have combined this age, like, hey, alien kid fell out of the sky. We could use this as a metaphor for Russian cosmism, because sometimes in Russian Soviet sci-fi literature, they had things of people from other planets that looked like humans and had powers.
Yeah, exactly, right. And just to refresh my memory, I'm looking through Cosmism's Wikipedia article right now, and it says that it combines elements from both Western and Eastern philosophical traditions, as well as from the Russian Orthodox Church. It was one of the influences on the prolecult, and after the October Revolution, it came to be applied to the poetry of writers like Vladimir Kirillov and Mikhail Gerasimov. And basically, they had emotional pains to machines, physical labor, and collective industrial workers. And they also talk about human immortality and resurrection of dead people, which is tied into the traditional Orthodox view of Judgment Day.
Very much. It's a very brilliant concept, and I've always loved too when I look at other um like for example, this was even something that even the poet Mayakovsky explored in one of his plays, uh which was I think called the bed bug, and that was about a man who was basically kind of suspended in life, and then he was like resurrected in the future. Of course, unfortunately, the future does not welcome him, and he just dies.
Right. And here we're just going to look at some pictures that, are cosmic art. And this is an example.
Yeah.
I remember looking at this when I was making Blue Star. This is an example of a Russian planet, cyborgs, and weak cosmos. I wish we can make this bigger.
I wish we could. This
Um,
actually looks a lot like some of the art when they show like the dying planet of Krypton.
right. And this too. This would be really lovely to see in the movie.
It would have. They could have done so much with cosmicism. I would have loved to have seen that. I would have loved to have seen Superman used as a metaphor for cosmism, and it would have been cool. Like maybe even if he was an alien that looked like a human, what if scientists were trying to make an ultimate person, and they found this candidate and they were using this kid, and then everything was working fine for him and he got all these powers, but the powers come at a heavy cost because it costs him his humanity and emotional welfare. I think that would have worked. Hello? Anyway, we're just waiting for Fortunist Games to get back. Computer tech problems. But yeah, transhumanism. Cool, cool concept. We really could have ran with it. It could have been beautifully done. Um, I think it could have been a metaphor for people. For example, just the idea of Superman itself or the Ubermensch. No, not that kind of Ubermensch. Um, but the Nietzschean concept would have been very fascinating to explore in the vein of Russian transhumanism or Russian cosmism. And you could have had a lot of cool sci fi elements in it too. Oh, I was just keeping the audience entertained.
Right. Sorry, I was just watching you on YouTube actually. Sorry about that, guys. Unfortunately, my computer crashed when we were looking through the Cosmism pictures. I don't know why, but suddenly, Tate's voice became very stretchy. It was like echoey and stuff. And suddenly, my computer froze, and then suddenly there was a blue screen. It said something about my computer needing to restart.
Oh, that's all right. I'm just glad you got it fixed. That can be really frustrating when that happens.
Yeah, so you guys, if you're listening to it on Spotify, sorry if there was this huge gap.
They'll understand. Tech problems are everywhere, man. It's okay.
Right. So yes, I think, cosmism is something that, they should have definitely explored. I think it would be a great visual experiment as well, combining the more typical American visual styles that we saw in Red Sun with something that's, very not known
Russian.
to a lot of Western audiences.
I would have loved to have seen that. And like I said, I did enjoy lots of aspects of Red Sun. I mean, number one, I really loved the design. I loved Superman's character arc. I think he kept true to, I think, a lot of his moral compass. Unfortunately, like we said, it's that kind of thinking and that obstinacy that leads to his downfall in many things. But I think everything else just kind of fell apart. And I guess too, I guess on a little side note, Lex Luthor wasn't that bad. He was actually kind of a pretty decent guy.
Yeah, I don't think he is that bad, which is good because, I'm sick of villains in a lot of cartoons that are just, 100% bad.
Yeah, I get tired of that too. Like, I was okay with Snyderverse because Lex Luthor was just insane. Like, someone just throw a tranquilizer dart at that kid. He wasn't really evil. He's just nuts and just wanted to, I don't know, guess go off like Loki or something, but without magic and crap.
Right.
But yeah, there were a lot of interesting concepts with that. And what else am I going with here? But I would have liked to have seen a lot more, I would have liked to have seen a lot more cosmism. I don't know why people didn't explore with that, like in the original comic. I think they could have had a real field day with that.
Especially when they were trying to get, more visual inspiration.
I know they could have done so beautiful. I think they could have done some stuff with Krypton. Like I said, I would have loved to have seen it where there was no alien thing. Like I know we do have the Soviet thing with aliens that look like human and they impart powers and technologies to the humans and stuff on other planets and stuff like that. But I would love to have seen something where scientists are trying to make like a superhuman and they've made a superhuman, but you have to ask at what cost is it? And like what if you had like this great futuristic Soviet dystopia thing where it's kind of utopia, but at the same time it's very dystopic. And I would have loved to have seen that, like a little bit, like not quite Fallout, but just a little dash of Fallout.
Exactly. That would be really great. So any last words for this video? We're nearing 1 hour.
Yeah, we're nearing 1 hour. I think that's it. You know what? I will say this. Red Sun has a lot of good elements. Red Sun has a lot of great visual elements. I think it does a nice job in keeping the moral compass of Golden Age, but showing what happens with the corruption when it's combined with ideology of a totalitarian state and the dangers of that. But it does have its flaws. It does have its cranberries. And I hope maybe it'll encourage writers who want to set things in this setting to do more research and explore things like cosmism or transhumanism and not think about it so much as a foreigner, but think of yourself as that person in that culture and country.
Exactly. Yeah. Those are really great words to end it on. And thank you so much, guys, for joining this. And thank you so much, Tete, for, being the co-host for this awesome episode.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun.
All right. See you.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.